Hi, I'm Matt Hoffman, and this is the Bub and Pop podcast where we talk about music, careers in music, life, the universe, and everything. Our guest today is Tyler Asay, the singer and primary songwriter from the Tisburys. The first I heard of the Tisburys was in 2024 when I saw them play at Underground Arts as a part of the Philly Music Fest that I reviewed for Glide magazine. I love the Tisburys' latest album, A Still Life Revisited, and we talk about that on the show today, as well as what the band's got in store going forward. We also talk about our shared love of the band Dawes and some of the other music that influences Tyler, both as a fan, a songwriter, and a singer. Tyler also does some work for Nugs.net, so if you're a fan of Nugs.net, as I am, then you are no doubt familiar with his handiwork. And with that, here's my conversation with Tyler Asay from the Tisburys.
Yeah, we're demoing. I have songs written. I've had 10 to 15 songs written for the next one that I've been writing since we finished up the last record, A Still Life Revisited, was done. We spent the last 3 years making it, so I had a lot of downtime to work on the next thing, and it probably won't take as long to get the next one done. But I have songs written, but we wanted to, because we've played so many shows in 2025, we wanted to write the next record more as a band and more in a live context. Because we've been gelling so well together live, we played 50 shows and we've really learned how to channel each other's musical tastes and preferences, especially in a live capacity. So
I think you had mentioned it's like a live in the living room kind of vibe you're going for.
Yeah, we want that, something more organic, more natural, but still rocks. So yeah, we've been demoing live at our rehearsal space up in northern Kensington, and it's coming together really well. We're like multi-tracking the demos, so we're able to like listen back and like develop ideas and get to a place that we're really happy with. We're currently trying to decide where and who we want to do the next record with. We definitely want to work with a producer, someone who can kind of whip us into shape and tell us what to do and really channel. Like, I want the next record to have an audio, just like feel like throughout the whole record. I love when records have that.
Sure.
So just an identity, you know.
Who are some producers who you like, or albums that really stand out for you?
Yeah, I want to work with like kind of someone like with an indie rock kind of legacy that I feel can kind of craft like a sonic identity. We have friends right now that are working with Jim Eno from Spoon, so that's someone who maybe we could reach out to and try to work with. I think that would be really cool.
He produces all their records, right?
Yes, okay. He does all this, most of the. He at least tracks the Spoon records.
Yeah.
So, someone like that would be kind of a dream to work with. I'm such a big Spoon fan, and there's all that like 2000s indie rock stuff is kind of my bread and butter.
Do you know Mike Viola?
I do. Talk to Jason, our keyboard player, about that. He like worships the guy. So,
wow.
I don't know. We've met him. We saw him at Milk Boy like a year or two ago.
He's playing there again in a few weeks.
Yeah, and a friend of ours is his agent. So, I mean, if we could work with him, that would be a total dream.
I love that guy. So he played. He happens to be on a record label out of Doylestown.
Yes.
Where I
what
live.
is the name of that one again?
Grand Phony Records, I want to say.
Okay,
it's
cool.
It's run by a guy named John Young, super nice guy.
Cool. Yeah.
And he just played like, it was him into a DI box, and that was it. Like an acoustic guitar.
He just played John and Peters too, right?
Exactly. Oh, did I say Johnny Brenda's? I meant John and Peters.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we were going to go to that.
But yeah, he's playing Milk Boy like the first or second week of March, I think, with a trio.
Cool. Is Pete Donnelly in the band?
I think so.
Okay, yeah. I love Pete. Was supposed to produce one of our earlier records before he moved back up to upstate New York. He was going to, we were talking, we toured his studio. We were going to do the Sun Goes Down record with him, but I love Pete. I think he's an absolute genius.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, so you've also, when we've talked, offline before, you've mentioned had talked about the Tisburys kind of failing in public for a long time.
Yeah.
And hey, I'm as self-effacing as the next guy. Tell me what that's what's that meant for you?
People always ask, like, how long have the Tisburys been a band? And I think, like I said earlier, John and I started the band technically in 2012, but we didn't really start taking it seriously. And we played shows, but they weren't very good. They were for like maybe our girlfriends at the Fire and the Grape Room when it was called that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until probably around 2016 or 17 where we started writing actual songs. We had like joke songs that we wrote back in the day, back in high school and college. But it wasn't until I had moved here in 2016, 10 years, wow. And I started writing more like actual songs that could have some legs or an audience. Because that's kind of when we started taking things more seriously. And like I said, failing in public, putting out these kind of scrappy DIY records that we recorded. Actually, the first record, the Wax Nostalgic, was recorded. I just walked past my buddy's old apartment where we tracked it.
Oh, wow.
He lived above DePinto Guitars, which is right over there. Shout out to John Covert from the Levy Drivers, if you remember that band.
I don't know.
Yeah, they were a great bluesy rock band. They used to play. We used to see them at Johnny Brenda's all the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You mentioned you moved to Philly in 2016. Where did you move from?
I went to Westchester. I'm from Scranton originally. John and I are both from Scranton, and I went to Westchester University for college. So 2012 to 16, I was there living in Westchester. And then we moved to Manayunk in 2016, and I've been there ever since.
Oh, so. Super cool. Yeah, Westchester's got its own nice little scene out there.
Yeah, it's cool. I feel like it's kind of coming back, too. There were a lot of those venues that we used to play, like Fenario, the coffee shop, and the Old Note, which I guess just reopened under a new name.
I didn't know that.
I'm trying to get us back out there at some point, because our drummer Dan and bass player Ben are both from that. My wife's from that area too.
Oh,
so
cool.
We still have friends and family out there. So it'd be good to get back to Westchester and visit the alma mater.
Yeah, for sure. You didn't take any accounting classes there by any chance?
No, I took communications.
A friend of mine teaches there.
Okay, yeah, it was a communications major with a journalism minor. So there was a point where I thought I was going to be a music journalist.
Wow,
but it's tough. Credit to you for that.
I sort of faked my way into it.
Yeah, for me it was always kind of like I loved radio. I was part of the Westchester University radio station, and had so much fun doing it. I interned at WXPN, but sometimes people are like, oh, it's like you can't do it, teach or whatever, like that whole dumb joke.
Yeah.
But I always found it the other way around, where I thought playing music is the easier thing to do, and being like a journalist or a radio person that's way more difficult and takes a whole lot more work. So credit.
Well, I mean, to your point earlier about just the money thing being difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult as, like, I don't know how anybody makes money in anything
creative arts
related.
Yeah, it's tough. You've got to have rich parents, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, I think like at some
trust fund. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Hey, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Maybe our kids will be so lucky.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. But I mean, so a Still Life Revisited, like you guys put together a really fucking great record. It was one of my favorites of last year.
Thank you so much.
Dude, I mean, thank you as a fan. I love listening to it.
I appreciate that.
You said you put it together over the course of 3 or so years.
Yeah, we took the time. So we put out the Exile on Main Street record in 2022, which people thought it was our first record because it was the first one I think people started to hear. It was technically our third, and it was the first one after the pandemic where we could cut it in like an actual studio and like tour it a little bit, still in a tiny capacity. It was the first one that XPN kind of caught on to. And once we finished that one, it was like, okay, let's make a record that you could hear on the radio, that had a bit of commerciality to it. So we took time to really craft parts, like musical things that are happening in each song, and each instrument is playing a specific part. So credit to Jason, our keyboard player, because he was kind of the producer of that record, and we really wanted to dial in every guitar. It's not just like strumming chords. It's not just like playing the bass. It's like the bass, there's bass lines that are working with the guitars to really create like pop elements and exciting musical moments in each like 10 seconds of every song.
Well, and I mean, your band seems to have a really like awesomely broad musical vocabulary. I remember when I saw you at it was at a Philly Music Fest maybe last year or the year
Mondo
before.
Cosmo and Devin, Philly, and Underground Arts. That was fun.
Yeah, and like between songs, it's like that's a Roy Hargrove song the band is playing. Like that's really
that's like John and Ben are our jazz guys. So they are both like jazz school dudes.
Okay.
Dan a little bit too. He's a School of Rock guy. So they all come from like gig life, learning just chops building stuff like that. So I guess that has to do with like the jam universe stuff too. It's kind of funny.
It's just like it's layered really nicely. And again, seeing you up close at Johnny Brenda's I think last week. Do you write songs just kind of you and a guitar, you, John, and guitars?
Totally. They always kind of start with me just kind of playing this thing in the basement and like kind of building demos in GarageBand or Logic or whatever. And it starts with like a lyric or a melody idea. It's only once I'm like walking down the street and I'm humming something that's like repetitive in my ear. It's like, oh, that's something I want to develop. So that's kind of usually the nugget. And also with records, I like writing records that are thematically coherent too. So I'll kind of write to ideas that are exciting to me that I can kind of bridge across a couple different songs. All my favorite records are concept records, so I like to kind of build that identity. But yeah, once an idea once I've written the song, I'll bring it to John or Jason, and we'll kind of add musical elements or develop them. And and then there's songs on the Still Life Revisited record that started with John sending me a musical idea, like the Elephant Hotel. That was just a little 40-second music loop that John sent me that sounded like Vampire Weekend or something, and I looped it more and then added a bridge, and then I wrote a melody and lyrics over top of it. So a lot of my favorite Tisbury songs, like that one, have come from me and John like writing a song together, where I kind of take one of his something dumb that he makes that he doesn't think much of, because he's like, oh, this is just something I made in like 30 seconds. And I'm like, that's really cool. Why don't we take this and build it into a real song? So that was that song. The Lost in the Electricity song was kind of built that same way. The Paulette song on the Exile on Main Street record. And I'm still bugging John. I'm like, give me some stuff, man. Let's work on some more music. But yeah, I'm excited for what we do next too, because I'm really excited with what we have. Like 10 songs that we're really developing right now that I'm pumped to get out there.
Super cool.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, you guys toured maybe once or a few times with Neon Trees over the last few years.
Yeah. We did 11 shows with them last year, 2025. Okay. So that was a super cool opportunity. They found us on TikTok of all places.
It's amazing.
It's like you got to play the game, no matter what you think of TikTok or Instagram Reels or whatever. Just throwing stuff up there, I feel like always helps. Not like doing dances or anything, but just like you spend money to make a music video, just like cut the music video in the vertical format and throw 30 seconds on it. And luckily Neon Trees saw it and asked us to go on tour with them. So I was so gracious for that. We got to play in a lot of places I never thought we'd get to play, like Nashville and Asheville, North Carolina, Buffalo, New York. We played the Stone Pony with them the day our record came out, which was a total dream come true, because like Springsteen's my number one favorite guy in music. So yeah, it was amazing.
So I feel like, let's take Still Life, for example.
Yeah.
I feel like a page that you took out of Springsteen's book just relates to kind of characters who were appearing throughout your songs.
That was the Still Life Without You, that song. Yeah. That was part of the invention of the record too, was these kind of characters that were moving. The record had a lot to do with like family history and memory. So I wanted these characters to kind of move from one part of life to the next over. It's actually supposed to be 3 songs, but the 3rd song got cut from the record. It's a demo that we never finished. It was going to be the last song on the record, but then we were like, oh, we can't not end the record with Lonesome Dove. It kind of is perfect for that. It was going to have like a little coda song in the end that maybe we'll release on a deluxe edition of the record at some point. But there's the Tom and Mary characters were kind of the inception of the Still Life Revisited. They just kind of 2 people moving in and out of a relationship over the course of like decades. So yeah.
Well, and of course, there's also the Jersey Shore element, though. Springsteen wasn't a Margate guy necessarily.
No, yeah, but that's where like my dad's from South Jersey. My mom used to work in Atlantic City. She was the manager at either the Hard Rock or Bally's or one of those casinos. But so that's kind of has a lot to do with my family history. And yeah.
Are either of your parents musicians, writers, creatives?
My dad is. So I learned to play guitar from him and John. But when I took piano lessons growing up and then learned guitar he would play like coffee shop gigs. So he'd do like Jimmy Buffett cover night at the bar that my mom was a waitress at. So and then eventually I was like opening for him and stuff. So it's cool to be full circle, you know?
Yeah. Are you a Buffett guy?
I'm
a massive fan.
Yeah. I appreciate him so much as a pure songwriter. Like, put aside all of the gimmicky island Margaritaville commercial aspects. My first concert ever was Bruce Springsteen, and then my second concert ever was Jimmy Buffett and the Coral Reefer Band.
Wow. Do you remember when that was, the Buffett show?
It was Camden Waterfront. I was probably 13 or something.
I'm sure I was there.
Yeah, it was like my one of the first big concerts. That was that same summer. And yeah, just as a showman and as someone who has built like a universe within his own discography is unbelievable. And yeah, some of those Buffett records, like there's like deep cuts that I really love. Stars on the Water, I know it's a cover, but like that's my favorite Jimmy Buffett song. I assume you know Jamie Buffett, right?
We're interviewing them next week.
Nice, yeah.
So they're opening for the Dwellers at one of the shows.
Yeah, we just got them on Nugs. So we've been putting up a bunch of their shows. So,
I'm equal parts delighted that they exist and mad that I didn't come up with the idea.
Yeah, it's pretty brilliant. And it's cool that they do not just Buffett covers, but then they'll like go into like Jackson Brown
or the Eagles and
the world of that kind of smooth folk 70s rock is cool.
Well, a lot of his tunes too. I mean, the early records are like really singer-songwriter-y, kind of country-ish, whatever.
Yeah.
So there's an interview that Bob Dylan did with like Rolling Stone in 1982.
Did he say that Jimmy Buffett's his favorite songwriter or something crazy like that? So Bob.
With Dylan, you never know whether he's sincere or not. But there's also,
exactly. Yeah. Jokerman lifestyle. Yeah.
Exactly. But there's video, I'll send it to you later, of him and Joan Baez singing A Pirate Looks at 40 at like Newport Jazz in the 80s.
Can you send me that?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's so
Love
good.
It. Yeah.
Massive fan of his. Mm-hmm. Who are some of the other songwriters who do it for you?
Springsteen's got to be number one. I got to say like Paul Westerberg and Jeff Tweedy, like that whole lineage of the college rock stuff. Michael Stipe. I love REM. I think that's maybe the band that has influenced us the most. Like that's probably the closest comp in terms of sound of like what I'm going for, at least, is something like REM. Talk about a band that has just like evolved from like one era to the next and just only got better.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Like REM kind of means a lot of different things depending on the era. Which eras of theirs really resonate with you?
All of them. I don't really know like the later records, but the first one, I kind of got into Murmur in college, and that like kind of was life-changing for me. And then kind of I would go to the Mad Platter in Westchester, which is a record store that doesn't exist anymore. But I would go buy a used REM CD, and I kind of went from Murmur to Reckoning to Fables and just like through the discography. And man, and it's just like to track the evolution to then their major label stuff is like, it's all really good, but like Murmur is still the one for me. But I kind of, when I'm like when we were working on the Still Life Revisited, I was listening to Life's Rich Pageant a lot because it's like, that's their fourth record. Like, how can we make our fourth record kind of emulate that in certain ways? And so now I'm like, now that we're about to make album 5, I'm like, Document. That's the one for me. So I'll be listening to Document a lot over the next like 2 years.
Oh, wow.
To prepare. So to like be in that mindset, you know.
For me, I mean, I was a teenager or maybe a preteen when Out of Time came out.
Okay.
And of course, like, you know, radio was king then, and Philly had a ton of amazing radio stations. So like, you know, Eagle 106 or whatever was playing, you know, like the singles from that. Then, of course, Automatic just like exploded.
Yeah.
But the ones that I come back to now over time, it's Monster and New Adventures in Hi-Fi.
Okay, yeah.
I just like, and those are, you know, not like people's go-to image of REM necessarily.
Monster's like kind of a joke because it's like the ultimate bargain bin CD record. Like I work at Main Street Music up in Manayunk, and that's probably the number one used CD we get in is Monster by REM.
Wow.
But it is a great record. When they did that remix reissue for like was it the 20th anniversary recently?
I think so, yeah.
Or maybe it was
maybe
like
the 25th, yeah.
8 years ago or something. I got back in, I was like, oh, actually Monster is really good.
It really is. There's a tune on there, I'm forgetting the name. It's like Let It Go or Let Me Go, or unless that's on New Adventures in Hi-Fi. One of them, it's just like Peter Buck playing an electric guitar and Stipe singing over it.
Yeah.
And it's just beautiful.
Bread and butter. It's so good.
Oh, amazing. I love those guys. So I know that kind of, you know, themes are a big part of how you think about, you know, songwriting and also constructing an album. What are some of the ideas in your mind as you work on the new one?
Yeah, well, just like I was saying earlier about we did the Still Life Revisited record was like very much a studio thing. Like nothing was cut live. Everything was like, we're dialing in every little part. We're like comping and stuff and just making sure it's like airtight for radio and like not commerciality, but just like to get people interested, you know? But, and now I'm like totally overcorrecting to do the next thing where it's like, now I want to do it totally live in the studio, like all of us playing, just make something that's really, really raw and organic. I kind of have been doing the same thing for lyric thematic ideas too, where the Still Life Revisited record was like super personal and like about like family and stuff, and like I'm writing about my own life. To now it's like we're totally overcorrecting, and it's like I'm totally going external for the next one, for like what we've been writing, where it's just like kind of what's going on, and not totally like, I don't want to say like political, like this is our fuck Trump record, but it is like I've been writing about like the media and just like how people are just all fucked up. Can I curse on here?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah. Just like how, and social media, just like kind of messing with people's brains, and just trying to get out of my own head and just more in the world, global warming, all that fun stuff. Yeah. So, that's kind of where I'm at right now in terms of, we're still deciding on a title, but I kind of have everything's sketched out. I know the vibes we're going for. So yeah.
A friend sent me a meme the other day. It's something like, you know, when folk music gets good again, that's not a good sign for like what's happening in the
totally.
Bronx. There's plenty of stuff to talk about.
Oh my God. Yeah. Jesse Wells, shout out.
Yeah. For sure. Well, and also it's funny what you mentioned about the kind of, bouncing back and forth a little bit in terms of approach record to record.
Yeah.
What you were saying made me think of Dawes. And
Speaking of Mike Viola, he did that. That was kind of when we were looking at the next one. We were looking at the record that I thought the new Dawes record that they just made with Mike was their best one in a while.
Agreed.
Nothing against those like experimental jammy records they made, the Misadventures of Doomscroller or something, right? Which are cool experiments, but like I like to hear just the brothers singing together and like writing really good songs. And the sound of that record with Mike is really, really great. Sorry, where were you going? Sorry.
Oh, well, no, so like I think of all your favorite bands,
yes.
which was very much a live record, versus really the one before and the one after. Like, I think they kind of leaned more into the studio with.
I love Dawes.
Oh, dude, I could talk about them all day. I have a Taylor lyric tattooed on my arm.
They're like number one on the bands like I'd love to open for and play with. Yeah,
dude, they are the best.
They came in and they've played Main Street Music, the record store.
Yeah,
they've done in
record
stores.
Store day.
Yeah, they were just there to promote the last record, and I got to chit chat very briefly with Taylor. But he's super nice guy. Yeah,
So I also really love the new record. I like the one they did with Blake Mills, which was super experimental, coming off.
We're All Gonna Die.
Yeah,
I like that one
I really
too.
liked. Passwords didn't do a ton for me. The two after that, not as much. Doomscroller a bit, but this last one is fantastic.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and I'm excited to see what they do next because everything with the. I know they were really affected by like the Altadena fires. They just did that trip. Did you see clips of that?
I watched it on Nugs.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Them bringing Brandon Flowers up and doing Springsteen was like God tier to me. So I'm sure whatever they got in the can next will be great.
Yeah. No, they're wonderful. And the new Basement Tapes record that he was a part of years ago was just wonderful. I could talk about those guys
for sure.
Day.
Yeah.
Well, so I know you brought your guitar.
Yeah.
I would love to hear you play a tune from Still Life.
This is Forever by the Tisburys from the album A Still Life Revisited. April days are forever, 19 days not together. Show my flaws through a camera lens. No more lies waiting to forget. Innocence on your finger. Throw your rocks in the river. Ride your bike past the state store. In the rain, they call it forever. Chance of a lifetime, but we weren't born yesterday. Another year older, you know what they told us. Will it all just stay the same? We're all little engines pushing it forward, just the same. Day by day by day, all my life waiting for ya. Jesus Christ, I'm a loner. Pearls for eyes staring at me through the mirror. I'm running from paint the walls of your hometown, through the gutters with no sound. Castles crash to the bottom of the sea. They call it forever, chance of a lifetime, but we weren't born yesterday. Another year older, you know what they told us. We'll hit all just stay the same. We're all little engines pushing it forward, just the same. Day by day, when the day is lost and the night's won and the lights are home and nobody's on, are your bags packed? Is your life hacked? Can you pull the strings coming from your back? It's a still life, it's a long night, and I'll be here with you on the other side. They call it forever, chance of a lifetime, but we weren't born yesterday. Another year older, you know what they told us, we'll hit out, just stay the same. We're all little engines pushing it forward, just the same, day by day by day.
I love the songs that you write. The melody, it's just everything comes together in a way that feels really familiar, original, comforting. I mean, I grew up here. It's wonderful. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I would love to have you and the rest of the band back on at some other point.
But LP5 is out. Yeah, dude, we'll do it. Yeah.
So excited. When are you targeting for a release?
Definitely next year, just so we can get all our ducks in order in terms of like setting up tour and stuff. Yeah, because all that stuff it's planned so far ahead for. So sometime in 2027, I would think was like we have to make the record. I definitely want to like spend a short. Or not a short, but like a long weekend, like just cranking it out in a studio. Maybe Minor Street. I don't know.
Maybe Boom Room. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. We're doing a track next weekend at Studio 4 in Conshohocken.
Oh, cool.
With Ron DiSilvestro. He's running like a recording seminar, and we're like his band. Like it's for like producers and engineers to like come and see how the chicken gets made.
Sausage.
The sausage. There we go. The chicken sausage. How the chicken sausage gets made. And we are his like guinea pigs. That we. So we're gonna record a track with him.
Oh, I can't wait to hear.
Yeah.
It.
So we'll probably put that out in the spring. It's a song that will probably be on the record. So there'll be tastes out there, and it's like nice to just keep putting music out and. Juice the algorithm and stuff, but
yeah, singles eventually turn into albums.
Exactly, yeah. Building it over time. So
yeah. Dude, thanks again so much.
Dude, thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was fun. Thanks for having me.